Path, pilgrimage as an art of transformation and healing. Since the beginning of times, we have been walking to sacred places on the planet, energy centers, chakras of the earth, on the song lines of the earth, the meridians of the earth, understanding that the earth is our body and our body is the earth, and what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves and the coming generations. Therefore, if we walk gently, mindfully, prayerfully, making every step a prayer, we're planting seeds of intention. We're planting seeds of creation. I have been very touched by this meeting, by this experience of going back in time, many 100 years, maybe 1,000 years back in time, and living with these people very simply on the earth, with least impact.
The Himba means over Himba, which means it's the people of this land.
The Himba come original from Northeast Africa. They are related to the Maasai. They're coming from Kenya area. But because they all are cattle herders, there was not enough grazing and water supply anymore. So some have to move, and because there was some conflict between the tribes, so they moved down. And then the Himba people were settled in the area which is Windhoek now, And then in the beginning of the 19th century, the old guy called Jan Jonker Afrikaner was the Nama guy. He come and he started to push them out, and they went up to the area where they're living now. It is the northwest of Kaokoland, or northwest of Namibia, and the south of Angola. In this culture, cattle is everything. So how more cattle you are having, how more wives you can marry, how more wives you have, how more children you can have. So that's the really pride and also the richdom of the Himba people goes around the cattle. So there was a lot of diseases and droughts and stuff in between in the years, and so the cattle number have come down very, very much. So the people are not is not as rich as they have been before. Like meat now, for instance, will be only eaten in special occasions like funerals or marriages or things like that. But in the earlier days, meat was the main food. Meat and sour milk were the main food of the Himba tribe. So informal greeting is perivi. Perivi. That means how are you? Perivi. And then the response you guys will give is nawa. N-A-W-A, nawa. Perivi, nawa.
That experience has been of such magnificence that I've been wanting to share this with friends. So I came back with a circle of friends. We came in a time of drought where they had maybe only just a little contaminated pool of stagnant water to drink from, like a whole clan of maybe 50, 60 people and children. So obviously children got sick, we tried to help. They said the most important thing we need is water. And I had one of my friends who was with me on this journey. He was a water diviner, and he said there is actually water down here. He predicted around 30 meters. So we said, okay, why don't we initiate a project where we tell people about the situation of the Himba, we can gather some money, financial resources and funding to drill for a water well and install a pump for these people so that in time of droughts they would have access to fresh drinking water. This process took longer, much longer than expected. It took me 3 years. Wrote articles, had exhibitions. in my concerts, I would screen some of the images of the Himbas. I would share about their situation. I would sell postcards. And finally, mostly through the support of friends, I was able to gather the financial resources to drill for the water well. I wasn't sure how deep the water was, how much water was flowing there. I had no skills in defining exactly the conditions. So I called in help from a 70-year-old Namibian German near Kamanyap. He lives. Rolf Hoppe is his name. And he, besides his health conditions, was willing to come up, driving 2 days to get to this very remote place of the Chinunda clan. And he actually confirmed the spot I found and said, this is exactly the right spot. And so that's where we then drilled, and he said 30 to 50 meters you will find good water. And it was exactly like that. We drilled down. We had contracted the Boysen drilling company from Chobabis. They came traveling for days, southeast or central east area of Namibia to that region. So they were setting up and drilling for from sunrise to sunset it took us. And while they were drilling, we were all just praying. We were praying, we were clapping and singing and dancing. And because even you can have the best geologist, the best water diviner, it is still a mystery if we are successfully finding water, enough water, sweet water, good quality water for these people. We were blessed, our prayers were answered, and after a whole day of drilling and holding up a very high spirit, we hit the water vein, and 700 liters of fresh water an hour offered itself to us, and wonderful sweet water. It was a real blessing. So it was a miracle, and the Himbas were very grateful, because now they had water. They had water also in time of drought, in time when there was no rain. I was working together with agriculture and hydrology department of Namibia. Greg Christelis offered me some support, 20% of covering the expenses of the drilling, which was wonderful help. The Red Cross I approached, offered to install a concrete slab and hand pump, which they sponsored. So we did work together with the government and a Red Cross organization. And even though it was a privately initiated project, they were very grateful that we did this work, so they offered some help in this way. But really, it is just a drop of water on a hot stone, because these people are severely affected by the global major changes, the climate changes on the planet, which our lifestyle, our Western lifestyle, has caused by exploiting the living organism, Mother Earth. We exploit the whole body, and this planet is not just our mother, it's our own body, and it's the body of our children in the coming generations. This is something we forget when we go ahead with our hunger, when we follow this hunger for power, and where we just take without giving anything back. We don't want to see it. We just want to continue consuming in the way we do. We are coming to a point now where we will not be able to maintain the lifestyle. We are overpopulating the planet. The way we are using the resources and wasting the resources is not sustainable for nobody, not for humanity on a long-term basis. So we are reaching a critical point. And if we don't stop and learn from the indigenous people, who are the ones who've been living in harmony with the earth since the beginning of creation, the ones who've been upholding the sacred laws of life, which is the law of balance, the law of respect, the law of honoring, the law of respect and honoring of all life, keeping a certain balance.
The world wants to push down education on people.
To fit them into our world.
To fit them into our world. But let me tell you now, the day when all power, when everything is cut off, when there's nothing left anymore, they will be the people who survive. We will die first. There's no running water anymore, no hot showers, no electricity, no cars, no nothing anymore. They will be the people smiling at us, because they will be the people surviving.
We can learn from the indigenous people. They're the ones who are affected first from our lifestyle, but now more and more the repercussion of our actions coming back to us.
It's around about 15,000 Himba people left living traditional, which is not a lot.
15,000.
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah, 15,000. It's not a lot.
Do you have statistics over the last years?
Yeah, this is the last years. And it's getting lesser. It was 18. So now it's getting lesser and lesser and lesser.
We have all the technology, we have all the wisdom, we have all the information to create a sustainable, abundant lifestyle for everyone. There needs to be nobody who hungers here on this planet. Mother Earth is an embodiment of the Great Mother, of the Divine Mother, and her unconditional love is expressed through every little flower, every fruit she produces, every seed, every fragrance, every waterfall, every breath of the wind, and all of creation. All beings and all kingdoms are carried, are nourished, are created through the unconditional love of this planet. But we cannot go ahead and exploit this planet without giving anything back. There needs to be a balance. Now things are moving very fast, and it is essential that we are stopping, that we stop and learn to listen deeper to the song of the heart, which is in resonance with the greatest symphony of life. And that is a challenge, because we're running on our schedules, and to have time to stop and listen and realign ourselves and reset our bearings and our reference point and our priorities. That is the homework we need to do, but we keep ourselves so busy with all our little plans just to avoid to see the bigger plan, to hear the plan of why is it we came into being, who are we as an individual, who are we as humanity, what is our purpose in life, where do we come from, where are we going to. These are essential questions linked in with our human existence, which we constantly avoid by creating artificial worlds in which we hide all the time. So the Himbas give us a great opportunity to witness a lifestyle which is very simple, very beautiful.
Siwalelo mugwahi walele, siwalelo mugwahi walele. Siwalelo mugwahi walele, siwalelo mugwahi walele. Egungungola kandombe pale mojano jikoti molumbo. Siwalele mukwahi walele.
Very much in harmony, least impact on the environment.
Kandombe.
Pale mojano
Mbale mojana.
jikoti molumbo.
Jikoti morum.
Siwalele mukwahi walele.
Chiwarere mungwai warere. No, that's very good. Kono modu go pebo. Madu du go pebo imbura ko. Uda go pebo.
Yoga video mukwahi walele. Siwalele mukwahi walele.
Ai kungungo.
Ai ujimuna. Wina wajituka. Wina wajituka. Wina wajituka. Wina wajituka.
Okay, okay. Kadende ko chani je. Ingo wajituka.
Enale wajituka.
Oh. They're imitating a bird called the black stork, which sounds like.
It's a bird.
And then they make the music out of it.
So basically the water well project we initiated for the Himba Nation is a privately initiated project, and it lives of people who sympathize with this project, who want to contribute to make a difference, who want to contribute to preserve an ancient tradition, an ancient culture, which potentially, hopefully not, but very much likely is a dying race. Our influence to the Himba Nation is cutting deep into their lifestyle. The government of Namibia is building a hydroelectric dam at Epupa Falls, even though there has been a major dam being built in Congo, I think, which supposedly has enough power to feed all of Africa with energy.
A very big thing is the hydroelectrical dam, which is going to be built in Epupa. It's going to be built very soon. The first construction works is already done. They believe the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the things. And the sun, the moon, the stars, they connect you to the ancestors. They are very, very deep into the ancestors. And the only person who can connect with the ancestors is woman.
Namibia has received its power from South Africa mostly. So they're striving for independence, but on cost of the Himba Nation. That means they're building a dam which will flood the ancestral burial grounds of the Himba, again cutting deep into their tradition and their sacred land. So we're in a race against time, really. What I can see, the only way how to help these people is to make sure that they can stay on their land, that they have the water they need in order to water the gardens, and their cattle have drinking water for themselves. That's what the Water Well project is about, to go into areas where water is needed. This is an open invitation to whoever watches this to become aware about the situation of these indigenous people, the Himba nation. Come and join us in helping to preserve them, helping to protect these people, helping to protect their traditional lifestyle.
They have many legends, many stories. Yeah, their thing in the afternoon, in the evening, when everything is done and all the work is finished, they are singing, dancing and telling of legends and stories. There is. Like also the creation of the Himba people, where does the Himba people come from and who is the first created person of the Himba people? The Himba people are coming from the leadwood tree, standing in the middle of Africa, struck by lightning, split open. Out of that have come the first Himba woman, the cattle and the fire. So these three things always goes together. The Himba culture is a woman ruling culture. It's a woman ruling culture. So this is the legend also which the kids is taught from very young. So and then together with that they believe the sun, the moon and the stars and all the things, and the sun, the moon, the stars, they connect you to the ancestors. They are very deep into the ancestors. And the only person who can connect with the ancestors is woman.
The Himbas are like a treasure of humanity, one of the last treasures, living treasures. We have lost so many of the ancient races, ancient indigenous people on this planet. People have been fading away with invaluable knowledge of medicinal plants, certain healing skills, understanding about certain sacred laws and mysteries of life. Let us not repeat the same mistake. Let's help each other to preserve these treasures of humanity, these last living treasures of humanity.
And then we get to this idea, but why don't we start to adopt kids or to make a house or a home for homeless Himba children? And then we started this project for homeless Himba children 10 years ago. So this one's those ones are from the they're very skinny. There's nothing to eat. It's the only project in Namibia of this type, and also the only project which is then not supported by any group or organization or anything. And then also it's the first ever in the history of the Himba culture that something like this has been run.
Mwatokerwa la kwetu mwauhara Himba